The European Commission has formally backed Ukraine's bid to join the European Union. The decision for membership will be discussed as early as next week at the summit in Brussels. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the move and said he'd expected a positive result. While Russian President Vladimir Putin said he had nothing against Ukraine joining the EU, he said membership would turn Ukraine into a semi-colony of the West. Meanwhile, the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has traveled to Kiev, vowing more weapons. On the front lines, Ukrainian officials said their troops were still holding out in Severodonetsk, which has seen some of the worst fighting in recent weeks. Sergio Olmos reports from Kiev.
In the east, in the town of Severodonetsk, fierce fighting continues as the Russian armed forces have nearly captured the entire city. They hold about 80% of it already. Their capture of that city would complete their takeover of the Luhansk region, of which right now they occupy about 97% of that region. The governor of Luhansk says that at the moment there are about 500 civilians sheltering in a chemical plant in Severodonetsk, including with some Ukrainian fighters. It's reminiscent of what we saw in Mariupol with the steel plant. The governor of Luhansk says at the moment evacuations are, quote, impossible, saying that they're physically possible, but they're too dangerous to try to undertake at the moment. There's hope for a humanitarian corridor to be established for the civilians to be evacuated, as they're without clean water or much medicine. Russian armed forces have been largely gaining ground in Donbass by the use of heavier weapons, including artillery and air superiority. This week, we heard from Ukrainian officials asking the West for similar weapons to try to level the playing field. We also heard today that Ukrainian forces claim they have sunk a ship, a Russian ship in the Black Sea, heading to Snake Island to try to resupply that area with weapons. Today, the Defense Ministry of Ukraine posting a video of that encounter.